Welcome to Impact Makers Radio, featuring industry thought leaders sharing problem-solving insights to help grow your business and live the life you love. And here's your host, Stewart Andrew Alexander.
Hi, and welcome to another Let's Talk Divorce conversation. And on this segment of the show, I have professional family mediator Amanda Singer, who is the co-owner of the San Diego Family Mediation Center. And Amanda is calling in all the way from San Diego. Now, Amanda has a wealth of experience in the area of family law and will be talking to you today about how to maintain a positive co-parenting relationship and resolve future conflicts amicably with your ex-spouse. So, if you're a divorcing couple, you might want to down tools, log out of Facebook and Twitter, and turn off any other kind of distractions and get yourself ready to take some notes and listen in to what Amanda has to share with you today. So with that said, welcome to the show, Amanda.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. We're glad to have you on today. So, Amanda, can you briefly describe the kinds of people you serve and the various types of situations they find themselves in when they come to you for your help?
Certainly. So I work with couples who are going through family conflicts, especially divorce, and they want to stay out of court. And usually they want to work together using a neutral third party, such as myself, as a mediator. So we find that they're usually at the beginning steps in a divorce process. So most of the time, they're not quite sure how they're going to handle the whole divorce process and have yet to hire attorneys and are looking for kind of an alternative situation because they know that they don't want to fight things out in court and they don't want to spend all the money that comes along with hiring an attorney, but they're not always sure what the other options are. They usually want to keep their costs down because going through a divorce can be an expensive process for anyone, and figuring out how they're going to live in two separate households. They want to be able to know up front, what is this going to cost us? And they also know that they don't want to hate each other at the end of the process. So we find that some of the couples that come to us, they might agree on some things, but a lot of times I get people who they don't agree on anything except for the fact that they know they want to come in for mediation. So they may be still fighting and may argue in my office, but they know that this is a better route for us. And they often have various issues, such as putting together a parenting plan, coming up with support issues, and dividing the property that they own together, and figuring out how are they going to move forward with all of this, get everything done on the legal side, as well as emotionally work out their issues with their spouse.
Okay, then, Amanda, keeping in mind that anything you share with us today is not legal advice or legal assistance, can you briefly share the most common misconception that you come across while you're out there helping your clients on a day-to-day basis? Now, I'm sure there are many misconceptions, but if you could just share the most common one, that would be great. Thank you.
So I think a common misconception that I see, especially as it relates to, maintaining a positive co-parenting relationship, is that, even though you're no longer married to your spouse, it doesn't mean that you have to hate each other. And in fact, when there are kids involved, you can still maintain a positive co-parenting relationship for your kids and do what's going to be, best for them in this situation. So, I think that, people sometimes think just because we're not married that we don't know how we can do this, and still remembering that you're a family and you have kids together, and you need to maintain some kind of relationship for them.
Okay then, Amanda, with that said, and based on what you just shared with us, and obviously keeping your client's confidentiality in mind, can you share an example of how you've helped someone who came to you with that misconception, with those challenges that you just described, and what kind of transformational results that you were able to gain for them?
Yeah, certainly. So I think that, one of the situations that comes to mind of a couple that I worked with in mediation, are the fact that, one spouse may have had an affair in this situation. And so the trust was lost between the two of them. And, that can a lot of times cause issues moving forward from, learning to co-parent together and, really trusting that person again. But realizing that, for the kids, they have to do that. So I think what we did in mediation is to be able to have an open conversation that has nothing to do with who's at fault and what happened in the divorce, and focusing solely on the kids as the main focus, and being able to work out a schedule in this situation. They really wanted mom to stay in the house with the kids. So being able to work out a situation where mom could be in the house with the kids, but both parents would still be involved. And being able to both see the kids, especially these days, we find that kids are involved in so many different activities that in this situation, we were able to make sure that both mom and dad were going to attend, baseball and soccer games and gymnastics practice and, be there for the kids, that it didn't matter whose day it was. Like, it didn't matter if it was mom's weekend, dad was still able to, work together and be there for the kids, knowing that the kids always come first. And, additionally, understanding that there may be new partners, and even in this situation, the one that had been involved in the affair had that person in their life still, but understanding that the kids come first, and it doesn't matter how you might feel about the other parent, but they still have to put their children first.
Okay, Amanda. So today we're talking about how to maintain a positive co-parenting relationship and resolve future conflicts amicably with your ex-spouse. Now, keeping that in mind, and for those divorcing couples wanting to know more, what's the most common but unknown pitfall that you'd like to bring to their attention today, Amanda?
So I think one of the common pitfalls is not having a strong foundation to build and maintain a positive co-parenting relationship. And, that really goes to the heart of why we do mediation, and why mediation is, going to be a better option for people to avoid this pitfall, because litigating only pits each party against each other. It doesn't allow you to want to work with your spouse when the process is over, because you may be in the court process for years, and, the things that your attorneys and that are brought up in court really only turns you against the other spouse and is just acrimonious in its nature. And so mediation, on the other hand, brings the two co-parents together to establish a healthy parenting plan for both the parents and the children. And it really allows them to start off from a point of resolving their conflicts amicably, and, really having that foundation such that, if the children are 4 and 6 now, as they get older, we've already started with a solid beginning. And we know that from there, the parents are going to be able to work together throughout, their children's life, and not just until they turn 18, but beyond that as well.
Okay, Amanda, I'm known as the guy with the sexy British James Bond accent, and you're my moneypenny for today, so at least listeners out there know a little bit more about us. But seriously though, you've shared a lot of great information. I'm sure the listeners out there want to know a little bit more about you yourself. So if you could just spend a few moments speaking briefly about who are you? What's your education? What's your background? And, how it all relates to the topic of family law. So if you could do that for us, that would be great, Amanda. Thank you.
Yeah, so I am, as you said at the beginning, a professional family mediator, but I am also a licensed attorney, and I'm also a certified divorce financial analyst. I have, both my law degree as well as a master's in dispute resolution and pretty extensive mediation training. So I've been working as a family mediator for over 5 years, and I've had my own practice along with my partner, Jennifer, for over 2 years now. And so, because of my education and experience in conflict resolution, the law, and finances, it really allows me me to work with couples through all the aspects of the divorce and really understand what they need assistance with. And, most importantly, the extensive understanding of conflict and dispute resolution, because I'm really able to understand the conflicts that they've experienced that have brought them to my office, but also wanting to work with them to move past that and help them learn how to amicably resolve their future conflicts to maintain that co-parenting relationship. I think that a lot of times, when you're working with an attorney or when you're working with a mediator or a financial professional, they're not really thinking about what comes next. And, for me, I grew up with my mom as a therapist, and, I saw that there's the emotional side of relationships and going through a divorce, but also the practical, kind of problem solving of how do you move forward, and how do you get from where you are now to a spot where you feel comfortable with your co-parent, and you're able to actually work together.
So, Amanda, if there is somebody out there who feels that they want to know more about maintaining a positive co-parenting relationship and how to resolve future conflicts amicably with their ex-spouse, how would they be able to connect with you? Where would they find you, Amanda?
So if anyone wants to get in touch, we always offer a free consult. We'd be happy to talk with them, and you can find me online. So it's www.sandiegofamilymediation.com.
Okay, can you be found on LinkedIn also?
So you can find me under my name, Amanda Singer, on LinkedIn.
Okay, great. So we are out of time, unfortunately, Amanda. Thank you so much for sharing so generously with us today. You certainly have demonstrated within the short amount of time that we've had together that you're a true educator and advocate for your clients' success. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy day today, Amanda. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on to talk.
You are so welcome. And I'd also like to say a big thank you to you, the listener, for joining us on this very insightful and informative conversation with one of the leading professional family mediators in San Diego today. Don't forget to check her out. Make sure you give her a call, visit her website, connect with her on LinkedIn. You'll most certainly be in the right place. So, with that said, I'm Stewart Andrew Alexander, and we'll be back shortly with some more leading divorce professionals in this, our series of Let's Talk Divorce Conversations. So, until then, take care, have a great day, and we'll talk real soon.
Thank you for tuning in to Impact Makers Radio. To listen to all past, present and future industry thought leaders and trendsetters, visit us at impactmakersradio.com.